Here I am shown making ramen. That's clearly a bowl ramen, I hope it is. There's about 5 different components to this. Actually more than that, but kind of 5 big general components. The first being broth. Basically I use all pork bones and 1 femur. You'd have to soak them overnight before boiling them for a half hour. After you boil them for a half hour, you clean off all the dark bits like I'm doing here. You want to be pretty thorough with the cleaning before you add fresh water back into the pot. You're going to cover the bones and then you're going to boil them for 18 to 36 hours. It's a long time, but that's what you need to do to really get them the broth emulsified and get that really nice color. Don't burn yourself like I did. That's just taking the lid off the pot like an idiot. Or obviously you're gonna take the lid off, but just don't do it wrong like I did and burn yourself. Chashu, you also have to start this the day before if you're gonna sous vide it like I did. It's sugar, soy, sake and mirin, green onions, garlic, and ginger. That is the sake, and for some reason I thought, oh, let me try it. Don't try it, it's gross and salty and weird. And then Miranda's like, well, I might as well try that as well. I don't recommend that either because it's sweet and weird and they're not great. They're great for cooking. So basically you're gonna make that, put all those ingredients into the pot, and then you're gonna heat it up and let it chill for a little bit. Here's my pork belly. I decided to do a little roll up thing because a lot of ramen shops do that and it looks kind of nice presentation wise on the end. Of course, in the end I forgot to add it because I'm an idiot. I put this in the sous vide bag and then add my marinade that has cooled down a little bit. I'm going to add the marinade and then I'll put it in the sous vide machine for 24 hours, 24 to 36. I use the water displacement method. When I do sous vide now, I don't vacuum seal, it just seems unnecessary. So you see it's completely submerged with the liquid. And then wait 36 hours, or 24 in this case. I said 36, so it's 24. The marinade from the pork makes a great marinade for your 6-minute eggs. You want to leave them for about 5 or 6 hours. Ultimately, I didn't do. After you do sous vide meat, and particularly for this pork, you want to cool it down quickly for easier slicing. Next, preparing the toppings. I like woodier mushrooms. You get them dried from the grocery store and then reconstitute them. Green onions, lots of green onions are just great with ramen, in my opinion. See, I didn't marinate the egg long enough, so the color's not as good as I'd like, but fine. Fresh noodles. Ramen noodles are super low hydration, meaning the percentage of water that you add to them is not a lot. So there starts out with a very crumbly, that I wouldn't even try to do this if you didn't have a pasta roller like this. And even with this, it's a big pain in the butt. Basically, it took a lot of tries to get it just to this point, and then a lot of folding, a lot of rolling, and slowly taking it down. If you have a pasta machine like this, I took it down to number 5 is what the number that I was ultimately happy with, and then ran it through the spaghetti mold, or I don't even know what you call it, spaghetti shaper. I don't know what you call that. Someone let me know. So there's the spaghetti side. And again, this is number 5. And these noodles are pretty thin, but they're great for a tonkotsu broth. I went to 6 on the back ones. That was too small. 5 I really liked. Next is the tare. You could do this a few days before. I just did it the day of. Starting with some sesame oil, putting that in the pan, and then you're going to add some dried anchovies. You want to just heat these up, maybe a little color, but you don't want to burn them. Then you're going to add your kombu that's been soaking in some fresh water and hold that at 176 for about 10 minutes before you remove the kombu. Then to that, you're going to add some bonito flakes. About a cup is what it called for. I did a little less than that. And then same thing, you let this chill out for about 10 minutes at 176. Here that's equal parts mirin and sake. And then adding soy sauce to that as well. And then same thing, 176 for about 10 minutes. Just kind of letting the flavors marry and hang out and party a little bit. And then to that, I will add the equal parts dashi that I made previously. And then you have a super salty, fishy tare, which is great. So building the bowl. First, you're going to boil the noodles. These fresh noodles cook very quickly. They need 1 minute, and that's it. Any more, and they're going to be bit. So just cook them for a minute. While you're doing that, you're going to start to put the bowl together. About 2 to 3 tablespoons of tare, and then 2 to 3 ladles of your broth. My tare was darker than I wanted, so it actually darkened my broth too much. Then you add the noodles. Use chopsticks here. Don't do that. See, I spilled a lot. If I would have used chopsticks, that would have been much better and easier. Now I'm trying to do the fold thing, which kind of gives you a platform to put your toppings and looks nice. Clearly I'm not doing a very good job right here, but fine, who cares. Adding the toppings, you're kind of looking to create some nice color in the bowl. And you know, I overdid it here. I actually don't like when you do too many toppings, you don't even see the noodles anymore. So I just kind of covered them up. And frankly just added too many toppings, so it kind of distracted from the other elements. But live and learn. I like the nori. I probably would have just moved 1 or 2 toppings and it'd be perfect, but it was very good. Happy with how it turned out.